A nocturnal storm rages over Collinwood, but most of the residents of the great house are asleep, for the hour is late. In one bedroom, a child sleeps peacefully, lost in a deep, dreamless sleep. A child who has terrorized those who suspect he is not as innocent as he seems. Another bedroom of the great house is empty, the bedroom belonging to Maggie Evans, for she has experienced terror in this night. She has roamed the darkened halls of Collinwood, sleepless. For she is beginning to realize that strange forces exist in this house, forces bent on destruction, forces beyond her control. And that knowledge will place her in ever-mounting danger.
Maggie.
Hello, Mrs. Johnson.
I was just locking up. I thought everyone in the house was asleep.
Everyone is, except me.
Well, would you mind turning out the lights before you go to bed?
Of course. Oh, Mrs. Johnson, I'd like to talk to you for a moment.
Well, what about?
You know that man that you saw in Matthew Morgan's cottage? The one that frightened you so much?
I don't even like to think about him.
Mrs. Johnson, I saw that same man.
What?
I saw that same man tonight.
You actually saw him?
Yes.
Then I didn't imagine it.
No, and neither did I.
Everyone thought I was crazy, but I knew I saw him, that it wasn't just my imagination.
No, it wasn't.
Where did you see him?
It was in a room in the West Wing.
He's here in this house?
Yes. But we're the only ones who believe he exists.
To tell Mrs. Stoddard.
It won't do any good.
Why not?
I already have.
And she didn't believe you?
Yes, at first. Now she only thinks it's a figment of my imagination.
Well, why would she think a thing like that?
Because of David.
David?
Yes. Mrs. Stoddard and David and I went up to that room in the West Wing where I saw that man. All we found was a clothes mannequin. David convinced Mrs. Stoddard that was all I'd seen.
And she believed him.
Well, she wants to believe everything he says.
That David. He knows something about that man, and so does Amy. I know it.
I think so, too. But who will believe us?
Oh, everyone thinks those two children are so innocent, but I know they are wicked.
No, I don't think that.
You don't?
I don't believe that they're responsible.
What do you mean?
I think that man, whoever or whatever he is, he has some sort of terrifying control over them.
Oh, dear God. Well, if that's true, what'll we do?
Watch them closely. Somehow we've got to find out what's happening.
But I'm afraid of them.
So am I. But right now we're the only ones that can help them. And Mrs. Johnson, they need our help. Well, it's getting late. We both better go to bed. I'll talk to you in the morning. And Mrs. Johnson, lock your door. Good night. Answer me. Who are you? What are you doing here? Stay away from me. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. No, 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 no. That's the way the dream ended. I was lying there, dead, and he was standing over me.
I see.
Barnabas, I know that you think it was just a dream.
What do you think it was?
A warning. A warning to leave Collinwood.
It might have been.
Barnabas, you actually think that?
I think it's possible.
Do you think that it's possible that I actually saw that man?
I think you actually did see him.
Barnabas?
And furthermore, I think this man is a definite threat to this house.
Barnabas, I never thought that you'd believe me. I thought you'd think what Mrs. Stoddard thinks, that it was just my imagination.
I didn't imagine what I saw. Yes, Maggie. I saw a strange woman dressed in clothes of another period. Julia saw her, too. She didn't speak, but she led us out of this house and over to Chris Jennings' cottage at a time when Chris needed Julia's help. He was ill, quite ill.
Barnabas, what does this all mean?
I don't know, but I intend to find out.
What are you going to do?
Call Professor Stokes. If anyone can find out anything, he can. Now, when will Elizabeth and Carolyn be out of the house?
Well, they'll be here all day, but Mrs. Stoddard is driving them to Bangor tonight for dinner.
Good. And I'll ask Professor Stokes over here this evening, after they've gone. And then we'll see what we can find out.
What do you want me to do in the meantime?
Tend to the children. Behave as naturally as you can, as though nothing had happened.
That won't be easy.
All the same, do it. We mustn't let them know that we're on to anything.
Barnabas, I'm so glad that you believe me. I'm so glad that Mrs. Johnson and I aren't alone in this.
I'll do anything I can to help you. There's nothing we can do now except wait for evening to come. Now, I think you better go and tend to the children.
All right.
You have my word for everything I told you. I did see that woman on the stairs. So did Julia. If you want to question her...
That won't be necessary.
Can you help us?
I tried to help you once before. I brought a woman into this house, a medium.
Yes. Miss Findlay.
According to the official medical report, Janet Findlay died of a heart attack. But she was a strong woman in the prime of life with no previous history of a heart condition. I don't believe she died a natural death.
Then how did she die?
I don't know. But it's possible that something in this house, some force, killed her.
You believe that?
Yes. I also believe it's possible she may be able to help us.
What do you mean?
If something in this house killed Janet Findlay, her spirit still exists here. Tonight we must hold a seance. We must try to reach the spirit of Janet Findlay. If we succeed, she may be able to tell us everything we want to know.
Oh, Maggie.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Johnson.
Are the children gone?
Yes, Carolyn and Mrs. Stoddard took them to Bangor. They left just a few minutes ago.
Oh, thank heaven. I'm glad they're out of the house. I feel easier knowing they're gone.
How did they behave at lunch?
Oh, like two little angels. And that's not like David. He always complains about the meals I fix.
You didn't leave them alone, did you?
No, not for a minute.
Neither did I.
Well, that means that they didn't have much chance to get into a lot of devilment today.
No, but we have to keep watching.
Oh, I don't like to be alone with them, but I'll do everything I can to help you.
Mrs. Johnson, you can't let them know that you're afraid of them.
I know. I try my best, but how do they behave with you?
Normally. Like two ordinary children.
There's nothing ordinary about those two children.
I know. They can be so sweet that I almost find myself thinking they couldn't be involved in all this.
They're involved in it all right. Oh. What did Mr. Collins have to say about it?
Well,
Oh, what is it?
What is that?
What? This?
In my dream, I was strangled with this sash. In my dream. Why was it in my room? What was it doing there?
I don't know. But perhaps we can find out.
How?
We're going to attempt to communicate with the spirit of Janet Finley.
Janet Finley, that Madam Finley, the woman that died here?
That's right, Mrs. Johnson. Professor Stokes thinks that she might be able to tell us something.
Oh, I don't know. Communicating with dead spirits, and it just makes me shudder. I don't want to go on with this seance.
You must, Mrs. Johnson.
Well, why me?
Because you and Maggie were the only ones who saw the strange man. The spirit of Janet Finley may try to speak through one of you.
Do I have to do it, Mr. Collins?
Yes, Mrs. Johnson.
But the whole idea frightens me so.
I'm frightened too, Mrs. Johnson. But I think we should go through with it. If we can find out anything at all.
Well, all right. It won't last too long, will it?
No, not long.
The sooner we begin, the sooner it will be over.
What do you want us to do?
Put your hands on the table. Our fingers must touch. The chain must not be broken, no matter what happens. You all understand? Good. Now, think of Janet Finley. Only her. Concentrate on her and her alone. Try to clear your minds of everything but the image of Janet Finley. Now, we are ready to begin. Janet Finley? Janet Finley, we are calling to you. You must hear us and speak to us from beyond the grave. Janet Finley, hear us. Hear us. If you are in this room, give us a sign. We need your help. Presence. I sense a presence in this house. Make yourself known to us. Make yourself known.
Oh,
Johnson, your hands.
I'm sorry.
Quickly, you've broken the circle.
Oh,
Janet Finley. Janet Finley, you must hear us and speak to us. Speak to us. There are answers we need. We know you were destroyed by some evil force. Now is your chance to destroy it. Janet Finley, speak to us.
why did you call me?
Are you Janet Finley?
Yes,
What happened in this house?
the children,
What about the children?
the panel,
What panel?
the room.
What room? You must be more explicit. We cannot understand you.
I found that room. I waited there for something to happen. And then,
What happened?
he killed me! He killed me!